Michael Betel, president and founder of the Fatty Liver Alliance. We raise awareness about the risks, causes, and complications of fatty liver disease and help those already diagnosed with MASLD and MASH by advocating for access to approved treatments and care. Today, our very special guest is Dr. Silvia Sookoian, who is a senior research scientist devoted to translating scientific knowledge in hepatology into patient care. Her current clinical and translational research in Buenos Aires, Argentina, is focused on genetic, epigenetic, and molecular mechanisms implicated in metabolic dysfunction-associated steatotic liver disease, more commonly known as MASLD now, pathogenesis and disease progression. Today, we're going to explore the world of microbiota and how it impacts liver disease like MASLD and MASH. So Dr. Sookoian, first of all, for those who don't know, what is, and I'm saying gut microbiota, maybe it's just referred to as microbiota, so even that let's talk about, and how can it impact our liver health?
Okay, hello, good afternoon and good morning. I don't know who is behind the screen, and thank you, Michael, for this wonderful invitation. And I really, it's very nice to me to share with you and your audience this fantastic topic. Indeed, the gut microbiota is a terminology that describes a community of microorganisms, which includes bacteria, but sometimes other different organisms that are part of the ecosystems in our body. This particular ecosystems is, in the great majority, concentrated in the gut, but we know that there is a community of bacteria and microorganisms that can be in other parts of the organism, for instance, in the mouth, and even in other tissues. So it's very important to understand that it's not something bad, indeed, as a concept, because this microbiota, this community of microorganisms that resides in our gut, normally are good for the health, normally. But sometimes when this dynamic community of bacteria lose the balance between the good and the bad bacteria, it happens that the disease may interfere with the mechanisms of the disease. So, are you at this point good with this
Explanation?
Explanation?
Absolutely okay. So we have good organisms, bad organisms, and if they're out of balance, that's when we have a problem. Okay.
Great. Summary number one. Okay.
Okay.
But then, what happened with MASLD? The concept is that this community of microorganisms, in this particular case, bacteria, because we are referring to bacteria because are the ones that are most common, more concentrated in the gut. When the balance between the good and the bad is broken, sometimes the bad bacteria start to proliferate and then occupy the place of the good ones. And in this equilibrium cause that these bad bacteria trespass the barrier in the gut. And you know, the gut and the liver are very close connected with a high avenue, which is a portal system. And when this barrier is broken, bacteria have access to the liver or even the circulation. And this may cause one of the mechanisms that are associated with MASH, meaning metabolic associated steatohepatitis, such as inflammation and even fibrosis. So the idea is there are many things working together for these special mechanisms, but the concept is this community of bacteria are very dynamic and very close related with everything in our life. Diet, exercise, sleep duration, any drug you use for medication, antibiotic, anything you use modulates the microbiota.
Okay, I wanted to ask you what you just mentioned about the crossing over the barrier out of the gut. So is that the gut leakage that's referred to?
Exactly. Very nice summarizes. The technical word is gut leakage, but sometimes it's not necessarily a huge and very evident leakage. Sometimes, you know, bacteria have many products. Sometimes bacteria, some particular kind of bacteria may release toxins because there are some bacteria that fabricate toxins, and these toxins can go through the circulation without any leakage between the gut and the barrier. So there are many mechanisms. One is this connection, the tight connection in the gut with the portal vein, that is the permeability. But there is also other mechanism by which bacteria can access to the liver and cause inflammation and cause even accumulation of fat inside the cell. So there are many, many ways bacteria can transform the biology of the disease. I tell you something more tricky. You know, bacteria can also produce alcohol.
I've heard that too. The
You heard,
self-created.
okay.
Yeah.
So this is something really, really amazing, because I mean, it's not the alcohol we used to, to drink, but there are some
Okay.
alcohols that also cause inflammation and cause accumulation of fat in the cell. So there are many ways, there are many, many different ways that bacteria can access to the machinery of liver transformation in steatotic liver disease.
So that is why sometimes patients will say they're not drinking alcohol, yet the indications are that there's alcohol present.
Yes, actually, yes, could be
Could be.
an explanation, but not necessarily, because sometimes, yes, it happens. It happens. There are many reports, intriguing reports, saying that some particular kind of bacteria, the technical name is Klebsiella, but some other also, produce such an amount of alcohol that it really in preclinical models transform the cells. But I mean, it's just a teeny part of a process. There are many other things working together, but could be also a good explanation for some kind of proliferation of bacteria in the gut.
Okay, I have two questions that I think are important anyway. I don't know if they are or not, but we'll find out in a second. The first one is, I was under the impression, incorrectly, I learned recently that you could take those very expensive refrigerated probiotic or prebiotics to enhance the microbiota and have a healthy, happy life. But I understand that's not necessarily accurate. So can you enlighten all of us about that, please?
Yes, this is also very important, because I know that the market of prebiotics and probiotics are moving very fast, very competitive, but are not always the right for all patients. Meaning, specifically, each patient, believe it or not, has their own particular portfolio of bacteria in the gut. Not all patients are equal in the term of what kind of bacteria are in this complex relationship with the host. So in general terms, I would advise saying, okay, if you like yogurt, you can get yogurt and introduce yogurt as part of your diet. But if you are thinking of modulate or change the profiling of your microbiota, need to see a doctor. The best advice, perhaps not today, because it's not very affordable for everyone. I understand, for instance, in my country, it's not easy to get the profiling of the gut microbiota because it's expensive, because you need special technology. But the idea in the future is to characterize what is the community of bacteria we have, what is exactly the balance and the unbalance, and then to get the right probiotic or the right prebiotic. As far as are we in the field working with patients and working with a physician and nutritionist, we need to be very cautious using this, because sometimes could be something not good in terms, could be cause discomfort in the abdomen, could cause not good effects, etc. So
and you're talking about the commercial one that you buy might
the
not be a
commercial,
match.
Exactly, the commercial ones. So I mean, for general common knowledge, I would say, okay, if you take a yogurt, not a probiotic, common,
Without sugar, okay? Greek
ah,
yogurt.
yeah, exactly, yogurt, exactly.
Yeah,
That's okay because
natural.
it has it's natural and also has particular bacteria that we know that is okay and will not interfere with the balance what is inside. But the other could be very nice, excellent, but we need more knowledge to advise patients to take this or the other. So it's something good for the future, but we need more evidence. We need to collect evidence and see how it goes.
It's one of the challenges is also not only relearning, but it's still unregulated, right?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
because I was under the impression, I'm sure I'm not alone because they sell a lot of them in those health store fridges that they have, oh, there's 40 billion. This one's better. It's got 80 billion. And I go, oh, that's got to be good, right?
That's right. That's right. The thing is the commercial aspect is growing exponentially
Okay.
and till the knowledge, the scientific evidence is in a plateau, meaning that okay, need more data, analyze data and see different scenarios. Because for instance, it's not the same. You get one probiotic in United States, but could be not the same in the patients in Mexico need, or could be not the same in Argentina or in Italy or whatever in the world, because diet and environment are influencing the thing. So need to be cautious and collect data.
That's all extremely helpful. I just have one more question completely. It's not a
Yes.
different topic, but it's related to the same thing. I think it's fascinating that and maybe you can just briefly talk about it, but there's evidence now that you can transfer the microbiota from patients who have healthy livers to people who don't have healthy livers and actually impact liver health.
Yes, this is a very nice work from a colleague from the United States that started to use this kind of, I mean, you say modifying microbiota in a kind of transplantation, because as I explained before, in some kind of a disease is so advanced that cause a relationship with the gut microbiota is totally disturbed, is totally in the wrong way, and the proliferation of bad bacteria is so high that you need time to reshape the gut. So if you transfer the good ones in such an amount that quickly populate the gut, could be a good thing to start to treat this leaky gut, particularly in patients with advanced disease. But the idea is we need to go before the advanced disease. We need to go to prevention. So when we talk about prevention, we need more data about how the disease starts in the connection with the gut microbiota. And I tell you more, it's not only the host and the microbiota, it's also the genes, because the genes also influence what particular bacteria are in your gut or in other part of the body. So it's very complex situation,
I bet.
but yeah. But I mean, we are in the good way of understanding all these processes, and knowledge is really increasing, and probably in the future you go to your physician and your physician will ask you, okay, Michael, tell me what you eat at breakfast and at noon and also at dinner, and then the physician could probably will profile your microbiota and then connect diet with your profiling, and at the end will reschedule your diet and also reshape the indication of any probiotic. But this is the future.
I got it.
The future.
And your two favorite words, precision medicine.
Ah, exactly. Got it. Exactly.
Thank you
Yes,
so much. I loved our discussion, and we're going to talk again because I know there's going to be advances in this field.
definitely,
You
definitely.
know
It's
what you're
my
talking
pleasure.
about, and you're the right person to talk to. So thank you so much for sharing
Thank
your
you so
time with
much.
us today.
Thank you. My pleasure.